Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time on Doctor Who, we had the pyramid at the end of the world, where there was a pyramid, it was full of monks. This is continuing on in our, what are we on now? This was part 3 of our very strange arc that we're on now. But yes, there was a pyramid, it was full of the monks, and they were like, yo, we gonna take over your planet, and you're going to let us take over your planet. And the Doctor was like, no we ain't. And then there were a bunch of people that were like, yeah, we're going to. And the Doctor was like, don't you do it, I'm gonna do it. No. And the Doctor almost figured out how to save the world without the help of the monks. The problem was that he was going to die in the process because he couldn't see, and so he couldn't open a combination lock. So Bill had to go in and give her consent to let the monks take over in order to restore the Doctor's eyesight. Presumably this is because Bill knows that even if they take over the world, the Doctor will be able to defeat them. Hopefully. There was no talk about Missy last episode, but I would imagine that he may need some help. Now, granted, he has the Sonic, he has his shades, he has the TARDIS, and he has his eyesight back. He's in pretty good shape to take on these monks, but who knows? He might need the help of Missy, so we'll have to see. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Now, I know the last 2 episodes have actually not been highlights because things are starting to look up with that. Just in case, same, normal deal if that ends up happening, but I actually don't think that will be happening. But if this does end up being a highlight reaction, you know how to go find the reaction. If not, then the reaction will just start up in a few seconds, which most likely it will. I think we're in the clear on that stuff. I do apologize for anyone who wanted to see episodes 2 through 5 and can't because they can't watch the highlight. I do apologize about that, but we're good now, I think. I think we're pretty good. So with that said, let's get right into this episode of Doctor Who. Here we go. Oh.
The monks have been with us from the beginning.
Oh, God.
They have been instrumental in all the advances of culture and technology.
Have they?
The telephone
Ah.
and the internet.
This shit is creepy,
They were
though.
even there to welcome the first man on the moon.
That's one small step for man,
Oh, God.
one giant leap for mankind.
Okay, I thought he was
And
going to say
they
something
have
different.
defended us too.
Ah, they're red for monks. Oh, it's 1984 up in this bitch.
This is in contravention of the Memory Crimes Act of 1975.
1975. The monks have only been here a few months.
Therefore, I sentence you to 10 years.
Wow.
in the camp. Take her away.
A few months and they have rewritten all of history. Oh, Bill. What have you done?
Your future is taken care of.
Oh, smile. Oh, this is not a good. Bill, what have you done? Doctor must be playing the long game or something. Okay. There must be something more. Some way they're really controlling people and changing history. Power just fluctuated for a second.
It's like they've been
Magpie?
brainwashed.
There's an old reference. God, that's an old reference now.
What are you doing?
Oh, Nardole.
This is them.
So he's at sea?
Yeah, the monks have got him on one of
So-
the old prison boats. Hulks, they used to call them.
So how do we get to him?
Every 6 weeks, all
How
the
did they-
food and fuel and stuff
How
gets
did they
taken
get to
them
him?
by a supply boat.
He was next to the TARDIS.
delivery-
Is that really him?
Doctor. Doctor, it's me.
Guards!
Oh, no. Something's wrong here.
What are you doing here? The monks are on their way. When they get here, let me do the talking.
Okay.
Wait, what was that? What about free will? You believe in free will? Your whole thing is you made me write a 3,000-word essay on free will.
Yes, well, I mean, you had free will, and look at what you did with it. Worse than that, you had history. History was saying to you, look, I've got some examples of fascism here for you to look at. No? Fundamentalism? No? Oh, okay, you carry on. By the way, you never delivered that essay.
Because the world was invaded by zombie monks!
And whose fault was that?
Yeah. You're the one that
I
chose
didn't ask
this.
for my sight back.
You're actually
You're
doing this.
He's lost. Jeez! Is he... He's... Hold up! It's too early! He's regenerating! I guess it's like the 7th Doctor. Oh god, we're getting Whittaker early! Whoa!
Good girl!
Oh! It was a test, and you passed!
I've spent the last 6 months planning and also recruiting all these chaps.
Yay.
Deprogramming them. Everyone exchanged their ammo for blanks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Did you forget, David? You forgot.
God damn it, David.
Blown the plan, wouldn't it?
So, who are we gonna get?
The only person I know almost as smart as me.
Oh god. Oh. I mean...
Blimey. Has it really come to that?
You need to reconquer the world? You go get the master.
Mom, it's me. We're coming back.
Nah. Oh boy. Okay, you know, that was... I have to say, that was compelling for a little bit. Save you from yourselves. It's honestly one of those things, like, you get what he was saying. But the Doctor would never say that. Oh god. Dodge! Don't just stand there, dodge! Oh. Madman.
It's just a woman.
Oh.
God, the way you and Nigel have been carrying on, I thought you had some kind of monster in here or something.
I do.
Yeah.
You see, it's them. That person creates a psychic link, which forms an anchor that keeps the monks apart. They're the linchpin.
Scalding.
Oh.
Brainwaves of one boost the signal and beam it out all around the world.
Boom! You've exploded.
And it's all
Now all
coming
you have to do
from...
is find whoever opened the door to the monks in the first place.
Say I already have.
Oh, well then you're sorted. Just kill them. That weakens the monks' grip on the world.
Of course, that's her solution.
There are planets that the monks have ruled for thousands of years.
It's passed on through the bloodline. Usually
Oh.
the linchpin goes on to lead a normal life.
The linchpin is me.
Nah,
So
yeah.
you're saying I have to die.
Your version of good is not absolute. It's vain, arrogant, sentimental. But if you're waiting for me to become all that, I'm going to be here for a long time yet.
She's going for the needs of the many good, rather than the Doctor's good.
I plug myself into it and replace the signals that they are receiving with my brainwaves and beam out the true history of the world.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
That
Or
could
even
work.
throw in some other stuff. You know, things that I could change just by thinking.
Nah.
Racism, people who talk in cinemas.
Are you sure?
Not sure those are equivalent, but
Incredibly sophisticated
let's get rid of them both.
powerful enough to...
The monks are not our friends. They have invaded Earth and made its people slaves. They cling on
okay.
to power by means of a powerful transmitter broadcasting myths and
Like
lies.
noise dampening headphones that specifically keep them
In fact, they have only been
keep the monks out of their mind.
and falsified. Our mission is to interrupt their
Whoop.
broadcast and replace it with the true history.
The powers are very interesting, I gotta say.
And undermine the monks' power. The monks are not our friends. They have
Ugh,
invaded Earth.
that's kind of gross though. Oh no! No, his Walkman.
Fake news central.
No. Now this is some fake-ass news. Wolfie wakes up, though. Oh! Okay, that's how he's going in. Alright.
What's happening?
He's fighting back.
Oh.
Blocking me. Counting every move.
Oh, it's a bit stronger than he thought. Ow!
Doctor!
Oh, no. That just didn't work. Okay.
So we'll find another way. Let me talk to Missy again.
We have the answer, Doctor, please.
Oh, she's...
I don't want our last conversation to be this.
I don't want this to be our last conversation.
Damn it. She's gonna disconnect.
I don't want time now! Bill, don't do this!
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
Oh, no. No.
No.
They're hijacking our memories. Infecting them like a virus.
No, come on.
Reinforcing our lives. Doctor, look!
Oh, she's starting to remember.
All the pictures I gave you. I thought I was just being kind, but I was saving the world.
Ah.
If you left them there, listen. You have to keep thinking about your mum, the memory you created. Her voice, her smile. The monks can't get near it.
Okay, come on.
You're an isolated subroutine in a living mind. Perfect. Untouchable. She's a window on the world without the monks.
Ah, there you go.
But a glimpse is all you need. The lie is breaking.
Yes.
Bill's mum, you just went viral.
Nah. Okay. Well, what happened to Bill? Well, she's still there.
This thing that we're sitting on, what is it?
We thought they were just like filming something here or something.
Thank you, very helpful. Now go away or something. You see, the monks have erased themselves.
God
Humanity's
damn it
never
all.
learn from its mistakes.
That's the most infuriating thing about Doctor Who.
No, it's really quite annoying.
Yeah. Which means they've all forgotten
Anyway,
his
I mustn't keep
broadcasts.
Why'd you put up with us then?
In amongst 7 billion is someone like you.
Aw.
That's why I put up with the rest of them.
Ah. Oh, that's cool.
Keep remembering all the people I've killed. Every day I think of more. Ain't bad. Ain't bad trying that.
Oh, she has to face it in isolation.
I even knew their names.
I'm sorry, but this is good.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I guess that is the conclusion of our 4-episode arc. Wow. Goodness, that was very interesting, because I mean, technically they're all technically self-contained episodes. I mean, obviously Oxygen is very self-contained, and then each one is still kind of its own story, you know, which I like. But wow, and really, I guess Oxygen is only technically part of this arc because of the Doctor's blindness. Other than that, I guess it's honestly just a 3-part arc. Whew. That was pretty cool. I like that they just did that, you know? Like, here's just a story arc. Just a 3-part story arc in the middle. Like, you know, normally I guess we do 2-part story arcs, but this one was 3 parts, and it built on an episode, you know, that came before it. So that was nice. It kind of makes me want more of that, honestly. Like, I want this to be like an anime, just like, all right, here's this arc. Now we're going to go into this next arc for a few episodes, then this arc. Just like, I just kind of want that now. With some single, standalone episodes in between. So, yeah. Okay. Man. So, it's interesting that, it's like, okay, Missy, they say it's like, okay, she's quitting being bad, cold turkey. But it really is like, no, she is literally quitting being bad because she has been locked in the vault for so long. And now she's really starting to question things, So that was really interesting. I like that. I'll be curious. Like, I don't think they're going to, redeem her or, well, maybe if she becomes, like, a Vegeta character, that could be kind of interesting. But, like, I don't know. You kind of always see her... Well, actually, maybe that is more for her. I was going to say she's more like a Frieza character, where it's like, okay, this person will never be good ever. But maybe, I guess that's more of the Daleks than... Yeah, that's more of the Daleks than her, because of this, friendship between her and the Doctor. It could be more like Vegeta or Piccolo, where it's like, no, yeah, she is an antagonist, but if she needs to, she can also be, she can also be an ally, which we kind of already saw at the beginning of Series 9, where she had to be an ally there. But I still don't see, like, fully redeeming her like Piccolo or Vegeta, Like, I really don't see that. I don't know, but that'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting, like, use for her, Like, hey, maybe, at least just to try, If you tried to have her sort of be, kind of like Vegeta, I don't know. Okay. Let's go ahead and hop into the notes on this one. The first thing I wrote down is months later. 6 months passed. It kind of reminds me of Last of the Time Lords, which also had the Master. Interesting. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, where it's like, oh yeah, time has passed, and these aliens or alien has taken over the world and stuff like that. But I like at the end of this, it technically doesn't go back to what it was, Like, no, the world is still, like, it's still 6 months later. There's no, looping back time or anything like in Last of the Time Lords. Granted, everyone pretty much has forgotten the monks already, so it's kind of the same. Just 6 months have passed and nobody really knows what they were doing for 6 months. So, nah. But yeah, 6 months later, the monks have completely taken over. And they have not only have they done that, but they've also created this new reality where they have always been a part of human history, Because I was curious, like, okay, yeah, obviously they haven't. They came here and ran simulations of Earth, but they weren't a part of Earth the whole time. So that was pretty interesting. I was almost thinking, like, what if they replaced, like, in all those, like, pictures and moments in history, instead of just inserting themselves into it, what if they were actually replacing the Doctor? Because the Doctor has been a part of history, The Doctor has been a part of history just because, because of how much he's been traveling in the TARDIS. So I was almost curious, because that also reminded me, like, when they showed, I think it was Churchill or, like, Einstein, and it's like, oh, here they are, and there's, just a little bit off of them is a monk. And that kind of reminded me, back in episode 1, going all the way back to Rose, when, the one guy was like, oh, yeah, here's, proof of the Doctor, and it showed, the JFK assassination, and in the crowd is the Ninth Doctor, and he's like looking at the camera like, yeah, I see you, I know where you are. So that's the thing. It's like I was very curious if that was actually going to be it, but no, it was more of a it's more of a Stalin tactic. Well, kind of a reverse Stalin tactic. Stalin took people out of pictures. They put themselves into pictures. So, yeah. I mean, I guess the monks have Adobe Photoshop. Nah, I don't. I don't. I use Paint.net because it's free. Although I think, I mean, for God's sake, I pay for Adobe Premiere, so I think I technically do also get Photoshop. Maybe I should look into how to use that. I don't know. It might be better than Paint.net. Although Paint.net is how I make all my thumbnails and stuff. So that's off topic. Do you think the monks pay for Photoshop? I don't know. Adobe Photoshop, little known fact, was invented by Joseph Stalin. It wasn't, but kind of. I mean, hey, Joseph Stalin was taking guys out of pictures, long before Photoshop existed, so who's to say? Who's to say, really? Anyway. Okay. So that whole scene on the boat, man, that was very convincing. That was very, very convincing from the Doctor. Because I was kind of thinking maybe this is... Now, obviously, obviously, that the Doctor wouldn't... that the Doctor wouldn't actually give in. He wouldn't kind of, basically like turn his back on humanity and free will and stuff like that. He would never do that. So you're waiting... You're basically sitting here waiting. It's like, okay, when is he gonna, pull the curtain back and, say what he actually means and stuff. And now for a while, I was kind of thinking like, okay, maybe he's being forced to say this, which I mean, that's what Bill thought. And it's like, okay, maybe he's playing the long game or something. But that's the thing is, it is honestly very convincing, when he says like, I'm going to help the monks save you from yourselves. It's like, hey, we've given you examples of, fascism and, totalitarian regimes, and you went along with it anyway, Bill, this was your choice to do this. This is your fault that the monks are here. So it is honestly very convincing. Like, you kind of step back like, okay, the Doctor would never give up his free will or the free will of the people of Earth. Like, he would never let this happen. On the other hand, you do kind of sit here like, oh my gosh, maybe. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, he would never, but the thought can cross his mind, Which, that's a thing. The Doctor would never, but the thought crosses his mind is honestly way too apt for the Doctor. Like, there are many things, shooting someone with a gun, or, shooting someone with a gun, taking a life, committing genocide even. The Doctor never would, but the thought crosses his mind. So that's the thing about this. Like, you're sitting here waiting like, okay, we know he's not actually doing this, but God, if that thought has not crossed his mind, That's the thing. But, again, it was a test, and she passed. Yay. That was good. It was a way of testing her, making sure she was alright. So, I did like that. So, yeah. Let's see, what else did we get? We did have to go to Missy. Which was nice. And, yeah, I do like... It's like... She is kind of... Well, she's not really losing it, but she's losing her bad, I guess. But, yeah, it's like, okay, she is in there. She has 2 chairs and a piano, basically. And it's just really interesting to see. I like the detail of, like, her hair is all screwed up and stuff. So, yeah, she is really... And the explanation of, yeah, she has quit being evil cold turkey, and this is how it's affecting her, So that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I like how, she says like, oh, I've had adventures too. I've run into the monks. So I just assume it's like, maybe that'll be an audio or something. An audio drama. But yeah, it's also interesting, just her saying, it's like, oh, well, yeah, you got to kill the linchpin, It's like, the last time I did this, the linchpin was just a little girl. She hadn't passed it on yet. So she threw her into a volcano, and that was that. And yes, that technically, like she said, it takes time. If you just kill them, it still takes time for all the memories and stuff to wear off. But she didn't care. She would hop into her TARDIS and leave. That's up to them now. The Earth is a bit different. So, but it's interesting how she says it, like, Doctor, the good you're trying to do is not the definition of good. It's your definition of good, but it's not the definition of good. And I like that. There's the distinction there. And she says, if you want me to be your definition of good, we're going to be here for quite a while. And honestly, yeah, it's like, okay, yes, she tossed a little girl into a volcano. That's horrible. But she did save a planet from the monks. So her version of good is sort of a needs of the many good, Like, she will not hesitate to sacrifice people in order... She basically has the greater good. So, yeah. So I really did like that distinction. Because, yeah, it's like, the whole point of this is to sort of, I guess, highlight the Master's, problems, basically. And in doing so, this is now also highlighting the Doctor's problems. Because he wants her to be like him. That's not exactly what... Well, okay, he wants her to be like him, but he doesn't realize that that's not actually what he wants, That's not what he says. If that makes any sense, basically. So I like that. She's more of the greater good than his version of good. So yeah. We had the whole linchpin thing, which obviously... it's not a finale, so I pretty much knew Bill wasn't going to die, but I was curious how they were going to get out of this. The original way of the Doctor trying to feed in the stuff was pretty interesting. I was curious if it's like, it's like, oh, he's going to broadcast the real version of history. It's like, well, is that the version of history that includes you? It's like, is it going to say in the history books, like, oh, the Doctor, accidentally gave Nero the idea to start the fire of Rome that he would later blame on the Christians. It was the Doctor that, the Doctor didn't do anything in the massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve. He yeeted the hell out of there just before it started. Like all this stuff. The Doctor was accidentally the cause of the explosion of Mount Vesuvius at Pompeii. It's like, was that going to be? Like, I was very curious, but they didn't end up going with that. But yeah, so that was really interesting. But I do like, so, they thought like, okay, either this is going to work. Well, I mean, they didn't really think this was going to work with Bill, but it was more of, well, this is going to kill her, and that's going to free humanity, basically. But I like the new thing of, oh, she held on to the memory of her mother that she only had because the Doctor took those pictures, So I like that, and it's like, okay, it's that world before the monks that she was able to hold on to and properly free the humans without sacrificing herself. That was really, really cool. I like that. And I know it's sort of like, the power of love and stuff like that, but I mean, it is a different angle. I guess it's more the human side of it, where the Doctor really wasn't doing that. He was just trying to, rewrite the historical facts, He was rewrite the monks' historical facts. Whereas Bill was actually she was using human emotion, and that's what broke the signal. So I kind of like that. And then, yeah, we had ignorance. It's, again, like the Doctor says, it's one of the most annoying things that people just forget. They just completely forget, and that's just that. You know, and we say it so many times. The humans, they forgot about the Daleks taking the Earth. You know, they completely forgot about that. They forgot in 1986 when Mondas showed up, and then there were Cybermen on the streets. They forgot. What other invasions are there? I don't know, but you get the point. Like, they forget everything. When there was a giant Cyberman thing in London at Christmas that one time with that 10th Doctor episode, they forgot that. Humans forget everything because the show needs to stay at the status quo of reality, because that's how the Doctor, like, they can't, any sort of like huge lore has to either be forgotten because it's on Earth or relegated to outside the Earth in order for it to work. You just can't have that, you know? Now, let's say this show goes on for, I guess, another 150 years, which that would be quite the accomplishment if that happened. But let's say Doctor Who goes on for another 150 years and they actually catch up to the Dalek invasion of Earth. What the hell do they do then? You know? What do they do then? And does the Doctor catch up to Susan at that point? You know? That would be hilarious. But, again, that requires basically getting to Doctor Who's 200th anniversary, which that would be quite the accomplishment if they got all the way to 200. They haven't even hit 60 yet. They're not even at 60 yet. So that'd be very interesting. Anyway, but yeah, ignorance is bliss for humanity, I guess. And then the last thing I wrote down again was cold turkey. So yeah, it's the Master. She can't, you know, like, I like how she says, like, you know, I didn't think about it because I just did more bad things. But now she's not doing any of that. She is literally just stuck in a box, and she has to think about everything, which is interesting. It's like a weird, I guess it's almost like, I don't want to say like therapy, but almost, you know, like, but she just has to confront everything she's ever done. Now, again, do I think that she's going to be completely redeemed and a good guy? Hell no. I don't think they're ever going to do that. But I could at least see this being a way to open up the possibility of her being sort of like a Vegeta character. Now, not fully, not fully redeemed like Vegeta or Piccolo or anything, but like, I'm talking like a Namek Saga Vegeta, where it's like, okay, she is going to be our ally because she has to be our ally. Not because she wants to, not because she's good, but she has to. Because there is something out there that fucking Frieza is out there, and she has to ally with the Doctor. Her Vegeta has to ally with the Doctor's Goku in order to take on the Daleks' Frieza or something. I don't know. But there's like something big and bad, and they need to ally themselves, basically. Like, I could see opening the door more to that, you know? Not a full redemption, but more like Vegeta. And that's fine. And then she could go back to being a villain, you know? Like, that's fine. But I like that we have this is basically opening up a lot of possibilities for the Master. So I'll be curious to see where they go with that. Of course, I know we have barely over 2 seasons left. I mean, granted, obviously they're making more. They are making more seasons, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if we get any of that and coming up. I mean, we've got to have something in season 10 here because they're setting it up. So I don't know. That's basically it. That's all I wrote down. Good episode. Again, really just enjoyed this like mini arc we had in the middle here. It's like, here's 4 episodes that tie into each other. Yeah, they're all kind of standalone, especially, you know, Oxygen is very standalone, but they all work into each other and all sort of continue one plot line. It's like, can we just have more of that? Can we just like if we take like a 12 episode season, can we just like have just 3 different arcs in there? Like first 4 episodes, here's this arc. Next 4 episodes, here's this arc. Last 4 episodes, here's this arc. Throw in, you know, like the first episode of each arc could just be its own, like, oh yeah, this is a standalone thing. But at the end, it does sort of feed into these other 3 episodes that are more tied into each other. Like, I would honestly be okay with a season or 2 like that. Like, that sounds like a lot of fun, you know, and it'd be something different for Doctor Who. So, yeah. Which I mean, I suppose Series 9 tried that with all the 2-parters, but I don't know. It didn't work out the way I think they wanted it. Like, this, I feel like, is what they wanted to do with Series 9, but didn't. So, yeah. I don't know. How many episodes do we have left of this season? 4? Is it really 4 episodes left? Yeah, because, I mean... Well, okay, I know that there's 4 more episodes, and then there's the Christmas special, and I think that's I'm pretty sure that's the last Capaldi episode. So, I mean, technically 5 episodes overall, we'll say. So, yeah. But, yeah, I'd really like that if they had just arcs continuing into each other, basically. So, yeah. That is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Doctor Who reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit the notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.